Okay, we'll call the regular meeting of Township Council for the purposes of a public hearing for Monday, November 18th to order. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional territories of the Coast Salish peoples, and in particular acknowledge our valued relationships with the Katzie, Kwantlen, Matsqui, and Semiahmoo First Nations. Mr. Richardson, I guess we'll start with the preamble.
A public hearing is a statutory requirement under Section 464 of the Local Government Act and must be held before third reading of a community plan, land use contract amendment bylaw, heritage designation bylaw, or heritage revitalization agreement bylaw. During a public hearing, council acts in a quasi-judicial role for the purpose of allowing persons who believe their interest in property is affected by a bylaw, permit, or other matter to make representations to council, either orally, by written submission, or to add comments to or elaborate upon correspondence that may have already been presented to council concerning the bylaws. It is important to note that council is not able to receive any additional information on the bylaws following the public hearing as dictated by case law. The hearing procedure involves an explanation from the Community Development Division on the purpose of the proposed bylaws and to hear from individuals regarding the bylaws. In order to ensure that all interested parties have a reasonable opportunity to be heard, speakers are requested to keep representations as brief and succinct as possible and no longer than 5 minutes in duration, excluding the time required for questions from council. Speakers will be asked to state their name, neighborhood, and city for the record. And if referring to prepared remarks, to submit copies of these to the township clerk. Decorum must be always maintained. This includes refraining from applause, booing, or heckling. To assist with large numbers of speakers, individuals must advise the township clerk and sign the speakers list prior to the commencement of the public hearing. The names on the speakers list will be read out during the hearing. Individuals who have already addressed council and wish to add further submissions will wait until the people that have not yet addressed council have had an opportunity to speak. All submissions and speaker lists are considered part of the public record. Council members should not express their views nor debate the bylaws. However, they may question speakers to clarify particular points in their submissions. Council may consider third reading or third reading and final adoption at this meeting or at its next regular meeting. Thank you.
Great. Can I get a motion to adopt the agenda? Moved by Councillor Rent, seconded by Councillor Pratt. Call the question on A1. That carries unanimously. Mr. Richardson, item B1.
Thank you, Worship. The subject will be Community Plan and Northeast Gordon Estate Neighborhood Plan Amendment and rezoning applications pertaining to a proposed development consisting of approximately 80 townhouse units and 12 live-work townhouse units at 6705 and 6731 Willowbrook Connector and 6785 208 Street. The 4.5 acre site is designated suburban residential and multifamily in the Willoughby Community Plan, and townhouse live work, and significant tree area in the Northeast Gordon Estate Neighborhood Plan. This air photo depicts a site located in the 6700 block, west of the Willowbrook Connector. Proposed Willoughby Community Plan and Northeast Gordon Estate Neighborhood Plan Amendment Bylaw 6043 aligns the Willoughby Community Plan designation with the Northeast Gordon Estate Neighborhood Plan multifamily designation and redesignates a westerly portion of 6785 208 Street from medium-density apartment to townhouse to provide for a cohesive site plan. Proposed rezoning bylaw 6044 amends the suburban residential SR2 zoning to comprehensive development zone 205 to accommodate the proposal. This slide indicates the currently proposed site plan. Your Worship, staff recommend the support of Willoughby Community Plan and Northeast Gordon Plan Amendment Bylaw 6043 and rezoning Bylaw 6044, subject to 13 conditions listed on page 10 of Council's agenda. Your Worship, a total of 77 notices were mailed out, no written submissions have been received, and there are no individuals on the speakers list.
Great, thank you. For the first time, are there any submissions from the public on item B1? And for a second time, are there any submissions from the public on item B1? For a third and final time, are there any submissions from the public on item B1? Yep, seeing none, we'll close the public portion of the public hearing. Does the proponent wish to come forward? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing for item B1. Does any member of council wish to move consideration of third reading? Moved by Councilor Wren, seconded by Councilor Pratt. Call the question on consideration of third reading of B1. That carries unanimously. Does anybody wish to move the recommendation? Moved by Councilor Pratt, seconded by Councilor Wren. Is there any discussion on B1? Seeing none, call the question on B1. That carries unanimously. You can get a motion to terminate. Moved by Councilor Bailey, seconded by Councilor Wren. All those in favor, opposed, and that's carried. Thank you.